Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Natalie and I teach the art of hand balancing, and this is a daily stretching routine. So we will start very simple, and I hope that I can make stretching a little bit more enjoyable for you with this video. Let's start on the floor first. I'm gonna be here on my handstand mat, and you can lie down on the floor or on a yoga mat and come to resting here on the floor. With the arms by your side, draw the right leg here, the right knee into your chest, and straighten the left leg. Make sure that the left knee is completely straight, or try to straighten it as much as possible. So your knee can also be here. The main thing is that you try to feel that opposition of the knee pulling into the chest and your knee of the leg that is straight, straightening as much as possible. Excellent. Now allow the right leg to float back here to the floor and draw the left knee into the chest. Straighten the right leg, and again make sure that the knee of the right leg is as straight as possible. And pull the knee into the chest. Now draw both knees here into the chest and just gently move the knees from side to side here with your hands so that you're rocking left to right on your lower back. Bring the feet back to the floor, hands by your side. Now just move the legs left, the knees left and right here. Okay, great. And then come back up to sitting here. Come to your knees. We're not going to stay here for long on the knees like that. Bring the left hand here to your right knee and the right arm behind you. Just gently come into a twist here. And then change sides. Right hand comes to the left knee and the left hand pulls behind you. And you can also follow the left hand with your gaze. Very good. Come back to the center and let's stand up. Now, for the next exercises, I would recommend that you use a chair or a stool that's round about as high here as at the height of your knees. And we are going to start here with the right leg on the stool or on the chair, and then just leisurely rest your elbow here on your thigh, just below your knee. The left hand can be on the hip, and feel free to adjust the position of your foot here anytime. We're going to start off with the bottom standing leg here at a 45-degree angle or parallel, and then we will just bend the right leg here and come a little bit more towards the stool, put weight onto the right leg, and bring the weight back to the left standing leg, and then again rock to the front and back and front and back and front and back. Now let's turn the bottom foot to face the chair, and then you can place both hands here, or you can place both hands here on the stool. And wherever you are, again, let's bend and come out of the stretch and bend. So this is going to give you a calf stretch and possibly also a hamstring stretch here in your thigh. And on the next one, we're going to hold it for 10 seconds together. So come to the front and hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, great. Come back here. Now turn your standing leg here again to the front or to a 45-degree angle. And again, hand on the hip. The other elbow here rests on your knee, and this time we are going to slightly push this knee towards the back as we lean towards the foot. So as I lean in here on my stool, I also gently push my knee back here with my elbow. So I can really feel that stretch here. It's a gentle hip opener, gentle stretch for our straddle and squat mobility. And let's stay here for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And come out of the stretch. Let's do the same thing on the other leg. So we start now with the left foot here on the stool. Bottom leg here, the bottom foot is facing the front. Leisurely elbow here on your knee, and the right hand is on your hip. And just lean towards your left knee towards the chair or the stool and go back in front, in back, in front, in back, in front, and back. Now in the next one, let's hold it for 10 seconds. Bring the weight towards your stool and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Push back onto the standing leg. Now turn the bottom foot here to face your chair. Bring the hands here or onto your stool and rock back in front. So the movement is slightly different depending on whether you have your hands here on the chair or not. So I find when I've got my hands here on my knee, then my thigh is working a little bit harder. And wherever you are, rock to the front. Let's hold it here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, great. Now turn the bottom standing leg foot again to the front and elbow on your just below the knee, hand on your hip. And now we're going to lean in and push the elbow back so that it slightly opens the knee towards the back. And hold it here. And come back. Okay, great. So these stretches are really nice because they are quite active. Your muscles have to work hard and they are not purely passive. So now I'm going to sit on my stool, but only with half a butt cheek here so that I can feel my sit bones still on my stool here. So I could take the weight completely off this foot, but I'm going to put the toes here, prop them up on the floor, and again I'm going to put a leisurely elbow here just below the knee and prop the other hand here up on my thigh. I like to point my fingers to the side in this one, and now you're simply going to keep this arm, your left arm, straight, and you're going to bring the shoulder, the left shoulder, closer to the floor, which automatically pushes the left thigh further back again, bringing you into a really nice opener for your straddle and squat stretches a bit further here towards the inside of the thigh. And let's hold it here together for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come out of the stretch and move to the other side. Left butt cheek here and especially sit bone on your stool, and then prop yourself up here with the elbow on the just below the right knee. Left hand fingers are facing the side, and then I'm going to keep my right arm very straight and bring my right shoulder here to the front, which automatically pushes my leg slightly back. Maybe you also feel this stretch in the hip or in the side body. And come out of the stretch. Very good. So these are stretches that you can also just do simply when you're sitting on your chair every now and again during the day. Let's put the chair away and come to the wall here. Now in front of the wall, I would like you to step the left foot slightly to the front and the right foot is just behind your left foot, and your feet are hip width apart here, and your hip bones are going to keep facing the wall. And now you may have to adjust the position of your feet here slightly towards the back. What I would really like now, if we just did a clean forward fold, aiming with the front of the stomach, the navel towards the floor, really thinking of pushing the sit bones to the back. So this kind of feels a bit like sticking your butt out in order to keep your lower back straight, because what we want is to keep the lower back straight. We don't want to stretch like that because that only stretches our back, and we want to stretch the legs. So try to fold to the front as much as possible. Again, maybe you have to adjust the legs depending on which distance you need to be away from the wall in order to still keep the lower back straight. And then just fold in towards the wall here, using the wall as a support, trying to just fold in half. Purely folding in half. Torso is one piece and the front of the stomach is aiming at the floor. Change legs. Now step the right foot to the front, left leg back. Come a bit further up out of the stretch, and one more time, push into the wall. Fold in half, pushing the sit bones back. Hip bones keep facing the wall. And hold it. And come out of the stretch. Fantastic. So now next we need a cushion. I have a nice rectangular cushion here. And place your knees here on the cushion and step one leg, the left one here, in front into a 90 degrees angle. You can also hold on to something else if you need a little bit more balance. And all we're going to do now here is make sure that this knee here is in a 90-degree angle, and that the knee is safe and comfortable on the floor. And maybe you can already feel this stretch. If not, walk your left foot a bit further front and then bring the knee further front. Left knee pulls you further front. The hips stay aligned. Hip bones keep facing front like headlights. And you can take this stretch then further into the hips and the thighs here. Only go as far as you feel is still doable but slightly challenging. You shouldn't feel a strong pain, you should just feel a gentle resistance so that you can hold it here with me for 10 seconds. And for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, great. Bring the weight back towards your right knee and then change legs. Right leg here is in front of you. Again, feel free to hold on to the wall for balance. Stay here if you want to, and if you want to take it a bit further, shimmy your right foot a bit further front and allow the right knee to go further to the front. Make sure that your hips stay square so that you can feel the stretch in the front of your hips. Great, and push back. Come out of this stretch, and now we are going to I'm going to turn my cushion in a way that I can sit here with my sit bones nicely supported in a straddle position. So maybe you need to sit on a higher cushion. You can also put two on top of each other. Some people use yoga blocks, which I find a little bit too hard to sit on. But this is a nice, comfortable position with a cushion, hands by your hips, and just wiggle from side to side. Now, maybe you have never felt your sit bones before, and that may be a bit of a weird thing to focus on. But make sure that you can feel your sit bones pushing down into the cushion. the thing that the sit bones do when they are aligned straight down is they rotate your hips in a way that makes sure that your lower back is straight and not rounded. Because if your lower back is rounded, then you are not going to direct the stretch into the legs, but rather in a really twisted position of the back. So just rock from side to side here. And now stay in the center. And all I want you to do now is flex and point the feet, making sure that your knees are staying straight at all times. Flex and point. Flexing engages the quads. Pointing helps you to straighten the knees more. Flexing engages the quads. Pointing makes sure that you straighten the knees. 2 more times. Flex, point, flex, point. If you get a cramp, just wiggle the legs and come back. Hands by your hips here. Sit up really tall, and now place the hands here on your legs and gently start to lean to the front. Maybe you can bring the hands here in front of you, but make absolutely sure that you are not rounding the lower back. It is the most important part of this stretch, is that you really keep thinking of almost pushing the belly button to the front towards the floor. As soon as your lower back rounds, you have to take the stretch back one step. And now also, if you want to just check one extra thing, make sure that your legs don't rotate inwards. You want to keep them rotated outwards as you move a little bit further front. Now go as far as you can possibly go and hold it here with me for 20 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, very nice. Last stretch. First, bring the knees in here, still sitting on your cushion. Bring the knees in and walk your feet back as far as possible here. Make the smallest, most compact position, and then hug your knees towards your chest here as much as possible. And stay. And release. Come back up to standing. We are going to do one more stretch here with a chair or a stool. And this time you are going to step the legs into a straddle position here behind your chair. Bring the hands here towards the chair and generously allow your weight here of the upper body to be supported by the chair. And we are going to now bend the knees here in the straddle and straighten them. Now I want you to make extra sure that your knees are not moving to the inside like this, but that they are staying above the toes. So as soon as your knees go to the inside, come out of the stretch and restart it. The knees need to push to the outside over the toes. And over the toes. And over the toes. Okay, great. Now step the feet into a parallel position. And either you have the hands here supported on your chair or the elbows if that's possible. But what's very important is, again here, I want you to come into a clean forward fold to the front, really making sure that you are aiming towards the floor with your navel here, yeah? And in this position again, let's go and bend the legs. And then come into that tabletop back position here again. And one more time, bend the knees. Come into the tabletop position. Now I want you to maintain this position in the back at all times. Really make sure you push the sit bones back and the navel points towards the floor. And bend the legs and straighten. Bend the legs and straighten. Maybe you want to take it one step further. Bring the elbows here down onto your chair and bend and straighten. Bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Maybe you want to take it even one step further and step the legs a bit further back here, maintaining that position here in the back, and bend and straighten, and bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Okay, great. Walk your feet back in and come back up to standing. I will leave you with that. That's the end of the stretching routine. I hope that this wasn't as scary as you thought it was going to be. Stretching, contrary to what people think, can be very scary because some people think it's just painful and frightening. But the more you do it, the more your body will learn how to ease into the positions and go further into the stretches. Thank you very much for practicing with me. Always an honor to guide you through these exercises. Have a look at my other stretching routines here as well, and have a lovely day.